All right, let's take 5 minutes to talk about checking answers in your calculator. Because you all have one, you might as well learn how to check answers. All right, so I'll show you a couple things. I'll show you checking a system in your calculator, and I'll show you finding an inverse of a matrix on your calculator. How nice! The first thing we got to do is get the matrix into the calculator. So let me clear this out. So to get the matrix into the calculator, you'll hit second, and then matrix. Notice matrix is above the inverse key. Boop, boop, boop. I have some matrices in there. You may not have any matrices in there. It all depends. I'm going to go to a blank matrix, so I'm going to use matrix E. To put new numbers into a matrix, you scroll over to the right until you select Edit. Then you want to scroll over to Edit. And then I suggest just pick a blank matrix. So I'm going to pick E. You may pick A if it's blank. Now, if you don't pick a blank matrix, it's fine. You'll just be overwriting a previous matrix. Depends on if you actually are using them or not. So I'm going to pick E and hit Enter. And notice it has 1 by 1 there, which means it's waiting for the dimensions. So let's just say 2 by 3. So hit 2, you can scroll over, hit 3. And now we're going to type in our matrix. So I'm going to purposely pick one. Give me a second. I'm going to make one up. 6, enter, 3, enter, 6, enter, and then 9, enter, -2, enter, 2.5, enter.
When I put -2, it says error syntax.
Because you're not using the right negative. You want to use this negative. Don't use a minus sign. Is that okay? All right. When dealing with matrices, it is very menu intensive. So we're going in and out of matrix mode a bunch of times. So once you have your matrix in, you're going to go to second, quit. This puts you back at the main screen. What we're going to do now is, because that was a system of equations, it just doesn't draw the vertical line like we're used to. What we're going to do now is have it solve a system of equations first. So you want to go back to second matrix. You're going to scroll over to math, and you want to scroll up, and you're looking for RREF. Okay, couple comments. Notice your calculator has built in the elementary row operations. Swap 2 rows, add a row to another row, multiply a row by a number, and multiply a row by a number and add it to another row. So you're able to, instead of doing those steps that we were doing by hand, the calculator will do it each step at a time. Now, especially later on when we get into heavy-duty numbers, i.e. big fractions, it may be advisable to learn how to use those operations. There's a video under Math 1470 called Matrix Inverses, so basically what we did today, where instead of doing it by hand, I show you all the steps on how to use these operations on the calculator. So if you want to watch and learn how the calculator does it, and then just write down what the calculator says each time, totally acceptable. And if anything, if you do it correctly, it will greatly reduce human error. Because as you saw, during these problems, it's easier to drop a negative, not multiply correctly, yada yada. So it may be beneficial to learn how the calculator is doing it. But the one we're looking for to solve a system is RREF, which stands for, and you don't have to worry about this, reduced row echelon form. In English, that says the ones and the zeros. So don't use REF, that's something completely different. We want RREF. So hit enter on RREF. And now we have to tell it which matrix we're referring to. So we get to go back into second matrix one more time. And now under name, select the matrix that you made. I made matrix E for this problem. So I'm going to select matrix E. And you don't have to end your parentheses for this. The calculator should accept it, okay. And just hit enter one more time. So notice that says x is 0.5 and y is 1. So what took us 20 minutes takes the calculator 2 seconds. Awesome. Now if you get a decimal like we did here, and I know it's just a measly decimal, but if you get an uglier decimal, you can have the calculator convert it to a fraction right here. You can go to Math, and then select the first one, which is Convert to Fractions. So that says it's going to take our answer of our previous matrix and now convert it to a fraction. So this one's not, is on the trivial side of things. It's not too bad. But again, if you have ugly decimals, you may want to consider writing your answer as a fraction. So that says x is a half and y is 1 still, which we knew about before. So that's how your calculator can check your answer for a system. Really quickly, let me show you how to do an inverse on a calculator. To do an inverse on a calculator, you would go to second matrix. You would mosey on to edit. I'm going to make a new one called F. And you're going to type in a square matrix, in this case 2 by 2. So I'm just making these numbers up. So they all start out the same. Second matrix, scroll over to edit, put your matrix in. So we're going to quit out of here. Oh, pretty. And now I'm going to go back to second matrix. I'm going to select the matrix that I just made, number 6. And then notice right here is the inverse key that we keep hitting for the matrix. So this will tell us the inverse of the matrix. So that's that big stuff we were just doing before. So again, as a reminder, do not use your calculator to get the answer. Use the calculator to check your answer. So if I see wrong work, suddenly correct answer, you're going to lose a lot of points. Because that says, I use my calculator. Okay? I'd rather you turn it in incorrect, knowing that you at least tried, than trying to flub the system and throwing in the correct answer there.